Hey y'all, welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. Um, I'm about to make lunch, but let me just tell you, I had to cancel a date just now. I had a date tomorrow. And usually, what I do when I have a date is I usually don't. If I haven't heard from the guy like the day before, I don't say anything about the date, but I do just say, "Hey, how's it going?" And like let him bring it up. So usually at that point, he'll he'll be like, "Oh yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to seeing you tomorrow," or "I'm so looking forward to seeing you later today." Woo, 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 da 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 da. So that's basically what I was doing. Oh my God, I have so much going on in my business. I have an appointment today, so I'm just to that point where I have to be real strategic about my time, and I don't have time for. I will not invest my time into a dusty situation, and you can have a dusty situation even with a guy who has money. So I was already leery about him, because I feel like the first time we talked, he pretty much threw the kitchen sink at me, and it was just overkill. I think that guys with money do have a natural inclination to brag, which I understand, and I'm okay with that. I understand a lot of guys who are accomplished like to name drop. They like to casually mention things that they own. They like to casually mention who they're connected to, where they've been, the company they work for, the company they've started, or property that they own, or assets that they have. Like, that's okay. And I mean, I understand. I mean, it's tolerable and it's also understandable. Men should be trying to impress you, right? Like, they should be. They should be trying to impress you. So them bragging about stuff that they have is an effort to impress you because they're trying to get your time, attention, and affection. However, bragging does not work on me. Bragging works on, you know, women who do not know any better, women who assume as opposed to waiting for things to come to fruition. Women who astro project into the future, women who build a house in their head, they make up relationships that do not yet exist. And those type of women are receptive to bragging. I am not one of those women. I've lived enough life to know that I don't give a shit about any of that. And I don't care about money until it's in my hand, till it's in my account, until I hear Cash App or Zelle or Venmo or PayPal. Although I don't like PayPal. We could talk about that another day. It's too easy for them to get the money back on PayPal. But, until the money is mine, I don't care. I really don't care, baby. Like, yeah, you have money. That's why you're on the phone with me. So the only thing that your money inside of your bank account qualifies you for is to basically apply for the job, but it doesn't entitle you to anything else. So if you have money, you have assets, you have a nice car, you have a nice house, you have a career, you have a business, or whatever the case may be, then that means that you're qualified to apply. But that's it. That doesn't entitle you to attention, affection. It doesn't entitle you to ego stroking. It doesn't entitle you to my witty banter. It doesn't entitle you to anything. Anything really. So, in other words, I'm used to the bragging, but he was just overboard. Like, oh, I live in this exclusive neighborhood. Have you heard of this neighborhood? I'm going to sell my house. I've gotten so many offers. I'm going to buy this. I own commercial real estate. I have apartment complexes. I go here. I'm da 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 da. And I was just like, okay. So, anyway, about the date. So, what do you have in mind? I'm not going to sit up here and like, oh my God, look at you. You're so great. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, you haven't earned it. I don't care. Like, you're qualified only to apply. So I still need you to submit your application, right? So that I can evaluate you and see where we're going. So because of the excessive bragging, I was already leery of him. I was already leery of him. And so today, when I reached out to I reached out to just say hello, to allow him the opportunity to confirm the date for tomorrow. He says, "Hey, baby," which I'm just like, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. I don't know you from Eve. I mean from Adam. I don't know you. So that was weird. And hey, baby, and I'm like, and then he's like, how are you doing? And then I say something about the weather, and he's like, yeah, this is excellent cuddle weather. And I knew immediately. I had a gut reaction. I knew that it wasn't worth it. It's just not. It's just not. I already know where this is going, and I'm not going to be able to accommodate his timeline. I'm not, because guys like that are going to have probably one, maximum two dates with you, and they're going to think of some manipulation tactic to try to get you to their house or to a hotel or out of town or something, like immediately. Like, they're not going to court you. They're not going to invest any time into you. They're going to attempt to love bomb you. They're going to attempt to get you drunk. They're going to attempt to do all of those things so that you will just sleep with them, because that's all they're trying to do. They're just little horn dogs. They're little horn dogs running around trying to sleep with whoever will sleep with them. Super promiscuous. Like, I don't like, gross. I don't want that. You don't even, I understand that guy's going to have more sexual partners than a woman, in most cases, but damn, that's just too much. If you're sitting up here trying to sleep with some woman that you barely know. You don't know anything about me. Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm just some random lady from the internet. And you're sitting up here talking about cuddling? Gross. I'll pass. I do not want your community peen. I don't care how much money you have. I don't want it. I don't want it. Because you're not going to be able to wait the amount of time that I need to feel comfortable for anything. And whatever little trinkets or dates that you think you have, you think that's going to impress me, but it's not. I don't care. I could go out every day of the week if I want to. That's why I have to be strategic about my time. And after that comment and my gut feeling, because I trust myself, and I knew, no, this is not the way to go. This is going to be a royal waste of time, and I have to be smart about my time. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for that. I'm making my lunch, y'all. Unfortunately, these guys honestly think that the date, well, I don't think that they pretty much know it's for them, but they want you to think that they're doing something special by taking you out. The truth of the matter is they just don't want to eat by themselves. That's what it is. And when they're older and you're hot, they know good and well that you make them look good. And they're looking for that feeling, that youthful feeling, that turning heads feeling. That's what they're seeking. So when you're going out on a dinner date with them, it's way more for them than it is for you. Even if they are dropping a couple $100 at dinner or drinks or whatever lounge, honestly, it's really for them. So if you cannot move into, and this is like note to self as well, if you cannot move into a situation whereby they're going to be making your life easier and more comfortable, very soon, once they realize that they enjoy your company, they enjoy, what you bring to the table as far as entertaining them and, dealing with them and all of that, like, then they should be willing to go ahead and try to make your life easier and more comfortable. And if they're not, like, you just kind of have to cut to the chase as quickly as possible. It is hard, but it's necessary. You cannot sit in that situation and try to overanalyze it for too long, because you will really derail yourself. You will really derail yourself. I think I will have energy later tonight. I hope I will. If I have energy, I'll go online. I'll go live later tonight, and we can talk about inner child triggers as it relates to dating. I think there's a video that I want to watch with you ladies that we can kind of go through, and we can kind of identify some of these triggers, some of these pain points, and some of the emotional traumas and baggage and pain that makes it difficult for some women to date. I'd like to go over that with you ladies. So I did save that video from a mental health professional, and we can kind of go through it together because this mental health professional is really outlining a lot of the things that I've been talking about on my channel about, um, you know, allowing men to be who they are, and not trying to control the outcome of things, and being okay being misunderstood, being okay and feeling okay when guys get upset and mad with you. So that guy is totally out. I'm about to block him as soon as I get a chance because I'm just simply not interested in anything that he is offering. So yeah, trash bags come in all colors, all shapes, all sizes, all income levels. So, it's all about just vetting each guy independent of all of that. No white guy gets a pass to talk to you crazy. Nobody does. Like, I treat all men the same. They all get vetted, they all get scrutinized. I verify everybody's assets. I look up everybody's criminal record. Like, nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets any special treatment from me. Everybody runs through the same system. Everybody, and I have one. Everybody runs through the same process. Now, you know, it's great when guys accommodate the process. I find that those guys are higher quality. If a guy's questioning your process and he's like, "Are you screening me? Oh, you screen," because sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, come out with me or meet me," and you're like, For me, I'm like, "No, I need to talk to you first," or I don't say it like that, but I'll say, "Oh, how about we jump on a call? I'd love to hear your voice," or something along those lines, and they know I'm screening them. But a good gentleman is not going to point out the obvious. He's just going to accommodate you because ultimately he is a gentleman and he's trying to impress you. But a guy who is a struggle bandit mindset, white, black, whoever, they're going to be like, "Oh, were you screening me? Like, oh, did I pass the test? Like, what's going on?" Those guys, by and large, in my dating experience, they don't turn out good because they're worried about the wrong thing. They're not worried about impressing you. Then they're not worried about accommodating you. They're not worried about making you comfortable. They're worried about their sort of unbridled access to you and ability to control the process, and why are you not acquiescing immediately as to what I want to do? So by and large, those guys in my experience, have been problematic, and they haven't made it very far with me, right? You can get there are certain offenses and certain things that you could do to eliminate yourself from the courtship process. And sometimes guys don't even have the ability to even get started. So the other guy's in a total holding pattern because we're negotiating right now. And I think that the negotiation has really come to a standstill. And, I have to just be okay with that. I am in the process of being okay with that. Ultimately, intellectually, I am totally okay with that because I'm not willing to budge at all. Intellectually, from a business perspective, from a on paper perspective, from a analytical perspective, I'm not willing to budge as to what I want, and that's just the bottom line. Now, from an emotional perspective, ouch, it hurts a little bit that you're not giving me what I want because I want it, but you're expecting so much. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when you reach a situation like that, the best thing to do is just let it be. To just let it be. Let the emotions exist. Let them be there. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to run after them. You don't have to call. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to understand. None of that. You don't have to do any of it. You don't. You can just sit there and experience your emotions and think about as to what you want to do. How can you get your emotional needs met? Literally, I was on the phone with this guy yesterday, talking to him. I was going through a difficult situation. He was just like totally unhelpful and redirected the conversation to himself. And I said, "Wow, I need to get off the phone because I need to go figure out where I can get some emotional support." And I didn't mean to say it. It was just it was just a natural reaction because it was true. I need to get emotional support, and you are not the person that is going to be able to give that to me right now. So I need to scroll my phone and see who I can call that's going to be able to support me right now. Ultimately, this guy wants the world, and he doesn't even understand how selfish he is, but it's fine. I can accommodate your selfishness, but it most certainly won't be free. It most certainly won't be, because I can get my emotional needs met and a lot of other needs met other places, but I'm not gonna entertain you for free. And that's just the bottom line. So yeah, the negotiation is at a standstill right now. It's not moving forward, and I'm not going to chase him. I'm not going to move forward. I'm not doing absolutely anything to inconvenience myself. I will probably have to even be paid to get in my car and drive anywhere. Literally, like that's where I'm at right now. So, take it or leave it, bro. I don't care. There's a long queue of men who want my time. So I'm not about to inconvenience myself for you at all. Can you imagine when you're doing an interview process? Like if you're a company and you're interviewing a candidate, I mean, it does cost you some money, right? Um it costs you some money to interview them, or rather, let's say that it's actually an investor. You're a company, you're publicly traded, and you invest some money in recruiting investors, right? You prepare an annual report, you do everything on your investor relations website, you communicate with all the regulatory agencies, and you do what you have to do as far as what it would take for an investor to decide about investing into your company. But would it really make sense for the company to send the CEO out to have dinner with the investor like multiple times, and the investor still hasn't put any money in? No, every company has a limit as to what it is that they're willing to do to attract investors, and you have to have the same mentality. Like, I've done everything that I intend to do, and I'm not doing anything else as to attracting you to invest into me. I've reached my threshold. I've went out with you, you saw how beautiful I am, we turned heads, I'm very smart. We've had a great time. So that's my contribution. So from there, you really should have enough information to decide whether you're ready to invest. And if you're not, I really have to entertain other situations. That's basically what's going on. So I just explained two situations. I'm so not going out with that guy tomorrow. I just don't have time. I have other things that could going to be more lucrative, a better use of my time than me going and dealing with some bandit. So, thank you all for tuning in for this impromptu live. Y'all have a great one. If I have energy, I will come back online later this evening, and we could talk about inner child um, traumas and triggers as it relates to the dating process. Thanks so much. Please share, like, and subscribe. Peace.